Hey all you Switch fans, welcome back to What's New in the eShop. I'm going to take a look and highlight what I think are the best looking games coming out on the Switch the first week of May 2022. All right, everyone, we have a very off week in the eShop. Normally, we have a lot of releases. Last week, we actually had over 40 games come out in the eShop. Granted, there's always some shovelware crap in there, so I mean, it's not like we had 40 great games. But for whatever reason, this week, we are only getting 8 total games in the eShop. Now, sometimes we do see some shadow drops out of nowhere, so maybe there's some new games coming, and maybe there's an Indie World Direct coming up. The last one was in December, so we're definitely overdue for one of those Indie World presentations. But it's probably just an off week, so let's go ahead and check these out. All right, on May 4th, we have Slap the Rocks from East Asian Soft. I don't know what to say about this game. It's quite obviously just a block sliding puzzle game. It does come from East Asia Soft, and they usually put out at least decent games, so I don't think this is like total shovelware crap, but it definitely does not look very inspiring. And it releases May 4th for $4.99. I'm going to be honest, I think that this game at the most looks like a 99-cent game, so I'm pretty much saying avoid this one. Alright, also on May 4th, we have Wildcat Gun Machine. Enter a bullet hell dungeon crawler where you take on hordes of disgusting flesh beasts with a variety of guns, giant mech robots, and cute kittens. Explore sprawling maze-like dungeons and liberate giant mech robots from demonic elder gods. Enemy encounters are challenging and specifically designed, not randomized, to provide difficult combat experiences. So yeah, it's a bullet hell style shooter. Sounds like it's got lots of guns, some really cool boss battles. The visual style is really cool looking in my opinion, all kinds of skill upgrades. Doesn't look like it's trying anything new, but for what it is, it looks really slick and well produced. I would say out of the very few games that are coming out this week, this is definitely the highlight. Wildcat Gun Machine does come out, like I said, on May 4th for $14.99, but it does have a launch sale price all the way up through May 12th for $11.99. That's 20% off the standard price. All right, on May 5th, we have Citizen Sleeper. Live the life of an escaped worker washed up on a lawless station at the edge of an interstellar society. Inspired by the flexibility and freedom of tabletop RPGs, explore the station, choose your friends, escape your past, and change your future. Yeah, so it's a very clean and fairly slick-looking cyberpunk-themed tabletop video game. So if you're into cyberpunk and you're into tabletop games, this one might really be up your alley. I'm personally a big fan of tabletop games, like actual tabletop games. I don't usually really get into the video game ones. I think that's kind of the whole appeal of a tabletop game, is that it's actually something physical you can touch and hold and move. But I know there is an enthusiastic audience for this kind of content, so I really hope it does turn out well for all of you tabletop RPG fans. And Citizen Sleeper does come out May 5th for $19.99. It does have a launch sale of 10% off, and that goes through May 12th. That brings it down to $17.99. All right, on May 5th, we have Rifftrax the Game. Rifftrax the Game is a multiplayer party game where players compete to make bad movies funny. Grab your friends and make fun of some of the worst cinematic abominations ever created. Rifftrax has been bringing their comedic commentary to movies for over 15 years. Now's your chance to riff along with them. Do you have what it takes to be the next movie riffing genius? All right, so if you're familiar with the old Mystery Science Theater 3000 TV show, this is what the original cast members went on to do. They created Rifftrax. It is the same concept. It's just sort of ad-libbing and making your own lines for really crappy looking movies. Wide Right Interactive actually made a game that came out, I think, last year called What the Dub. I actually took a look at it on my channel, and that game was basically also Rifftrax the Game. So they must have caught the attention of the Rifftrax guys, and it looks like they've teamed up to make a much beefier, more full version of what they released last year. My family and I absolutely thoroughly enjoyed What the Dub. In fact, my kids ask to play it frequently, so I am very confident that they're going to really like this game. So even though I think Wildcat Gun Machine is the best looking game this week, I think Rifftrax is probably the most likely to get added to my collection this week, because I just know my family's going to eat this one up. The Rifftrax the Game does release May 5th for a very reasonable, in my opinion, $9.99. Trust me, you'll get a lot of laughs out of a party group with this one. All right, moving on. Also on May 5th, we have Trash Sailors. The world was flooded by a giant trash tsunami. Luckily for you, a lot of trash is floating around. Trash is your main resource and the most valuable thing in this world. You can recycle it into fuel, raft spare parts, and even weapons. Brace yourself for swamp crocodiles, toxic sharks, Arctic pirates, and much, much more. Alright, so this is basically like a 4-player sort of party survival game. I really like the look of this game. I really like the art style. So I am hopeful that this will turn out well. I will tell you that the PC version came out last year and it got kind of mixed reviews. I think that the online component didn't work very well at launch. So hopefully they've buffed out the problems for the console release. But I am very cautious about this one. This game has actually been on the eShop with a confirmed release date like 2 or 3 other times. It originally was supposed to come out, I think, all the way back in last August, and then it was delayed for a couple of months, and then it got delayed again and again. So every time that it's on the eShop, it will get delayed like the day it's supposed to be released. They'll be like, oh, yep, sorry, it's not coming out, and it gets delayed again. So I'm not even fully confident it's coming out this week, but fingers crossed, maybe it finally will. Once again, May 5th, Trash Sailors. I could not find a price for the Switch version, but the Steam version was $19.99, so I imagine it's probably the same. Alright, on May 5th, we also have War Mines Collection. We can be very brief with this description. It is quite obviously a Minesweeper style game, but set with a World War II and World War I sort of style of aesthetic. The publisher of this game has a bit of a spotty record. Some of their games definitely look like shovelware, so I'd be pretty cautious about this one. But it is just a Minesweeper clone, so I can't imagine they could mess it up too bad. Once again, that does release May 5th for a fairly low price of $3.99, but I'm going to be honest, this is another game that looks like it should only be 99 cents in my opinion. Alright, on May 6th, we have Football Drama. There is a story behind every goal. You're Rocco Galliano, the existentially troubled manager of a struggling football team. Train players, choose your own narrative, survive the drama, and play turn-based football matches via tactical cards and hard choices. So just so you know, this came out on Steam a couple of years ago, and the reviews are pretty universally bad. Most of the reviews say it's pretty much a snooze fest and very repetitive. But it has been a couple years, so maybe they've gone back, retooled this game, maybe fixed some of the issues, but I wouldn't count on it, so make sure you wait for some reviews on this one. But that does release May 6th for $9.99. Alright, last and most certainly least from publisher Game Nacional, we have Bundle Cats Plus Dog. I'm not even going to bother describing this game. If you're not familiar with Game Nacional, they are one of those companies that basically non-stop churns out total shovelware crap on the eShop. This is normally one of those kind of games I wouldn't even talk about. I certainly wouldn't even put it on the sizzle reel, but since we have so few games, it gives me a chance to kind of rail on them for a little bit. They are, however, not alone. There are a couple other companies. In particular, I can think of PixArts and Ultimate Games. Those are both 2 more companies that if you ever see their games on the eShop, just absolutely avoid them. Total shovelware. All right, what did you think? It's a very dry week. There are very few games coming out. Not exactly sure what's going on. Makes me kind of think that maybe there might be one of those Indie World Directs coming up really soon. If that's the case, maybe we'll get some really great shadow drops of new games. But maybe it's just a really off week. I don't know what the deal is. But at the very least, I really think that Wildcat Gun Machine and Rifftrax the game look like some really solid options, and I think Trash Sailors might be good if it actually ends up coming out. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So until next time, all you tricksters, I hope you have great gaming. Bye-bye.